I'm here to tell you guys why reviewing later, or if you're using the Go++ review later, is absolutely superior to just starting research whenever you do research. And I'm going to recommend that all players from now on do this as a habit so that you never forget. Welcome back to another Pokemon Sleep video. It's Bro Vinny here. Now, at the start of every sleep research session, you'll get an option after you press End Sleep, or if you're using the Go++, after you synchronize the plus to press this button. Or if it's plus, it will look something like this. And there are 5 good reasons for this. Number 1, you get to clear your Pokemon's inventory, which means that your Pokemon will be able to farm ingredients again. As you know by now, if your carry limit is reached on that Pokemon will only farm berries. It can no longer farm any more ingredients. But if you're hunting for a specific ingredient that you're short of for this week, then clearing that inventory carry limit early before you then go on to do your unreviewed sleep report allows your Pokemon to start farming those ingredients again, so that during the 5 to 20 minutes you spend, the Pokemon would have had a chance to build up some more productions of ingredients. But then you might argue, hang on, maybe I just want sneaky snacking and more berries rather than ingredients. Well, the solution is simple. Simply don't collect. So for example, my BFS Meganium here, if I didn't want any of its ingredients and I don't care about it triggering its skill, then all you have to do is don't collect that Pokemon. But for your ingredient specialist, like for example, my Venusaur here, it generally would benefit from clearing out that inventory. 2, you can collect the main skill of your Pokemon that's built up overnight, and by clearing out the inventory, your skill or ingredient or berry specialist will be able to start preparing for the next main skill to be triggered. Because if you've got a main skill or a full inventory banked, your Pokemon can't trigger another main skill. So doing this earlier means that your next main skill will on average trigger 5 to 20 minutes earlier. Number 3, some skills are worth more if you trigger earlier in the day than it is later in the day. But there is pretty much no skill that's better to be triggered later in the day than earlier in the day. So the skills that I'm referring to here are the healing skills, the energy recovery skills like Wigglytuff, or Sylveon, or even Slowbro, or Slowking. And I explained this in another video. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to learn more about this. 4, if you're like me, who don't have much time in the morning to have to collect berries and ingredients and then have to cook a meal for Snorlax, and then having to check the community research tab for candies, and then checking which of my Pokemon have leveled up, and then after all of that still having to do the sleep research, simply not having that much time in the morning, I simply prefer to spread out the time cost by delaying the sleep research to a later part of the day, maybe at lunchtime or at a work or a school break. And there's really no harm to delaying that research. And the game won't even allow you to go to sleep again until you've cleared up the last sleep research. So there's no way you'll forget either. But this is more of a social than a gameplay point. And finally, the most important point number 5. If you've managed to stay until this part of the video, I've got some amazing news for you. I found a bug in this game. And it's a bug that benefits all players under specific circumstances. And literally nobody that I've talked to wants this bug patched, which is why I'm very cryptic about this. No one wants me to talk about this on a video because they don't want it patched. They don't want the developers to find out. But I still want you guys to know to benefit from this. So unfortunately, I won't be telling you what the bug is, but I can tell you how to trigger or activate it. And at some point of your gameplay, you will massively benefit from this, as long as you do this. Press review later. All you have to do is press review later, whether you're using the plus plus or phone tracking, and that's it. And under some circumstances, you will benefit from this. Again, I can't tell you what it is. You just gotta trust me on this. And that's all I can say for today. Now, any comments that reveal this bug, unfortunately, I will have to delete it. But if you want to talk about this in a cryptic way so that it's not obvious what the bug is, I will allow those comments.